now. Jared hadn't had it, nor had she. Jared was being really weird about it, though, which didn't surprise her at all. He was a conspiracy nut sometimes, not as bad as some, but more than she wanted to tolerate. She loved him too much to hurt his feelings over it, so she just made non-committal noises when he brought it up on the phone or whatever. But if he didn't stop sending her crazy links in her email, she was going to scream. The past week he had been sending her little updates in emails and texts. She appreciated the gesture and the caring that was behind it, but she wasn't worried about it at all anymore. People were fine. Things were getting back to normal. It just wasn't a big deal. The people in the cities just wanted their grievances to be heard, or just wanted an excuse to stick it to the man. That didn't concern her, or them, here. This was a small town. There wouldn't be any of that stuff here. The first time he had emailed, she had been at work. Her desk was a shared space among her and a couple of colleagues. She had unthinkingly clicked the link. What followed had been immediate embarrassment of epic proportions. The sound on the computer had been up, way up. The video had been set to autoplay. Loud screaming and crying in a foreign language had drawn everyone's attention. What in the actual fuck? A quick glance at the Cyrillic alphabet, unintelligible to her, and the almost nude Russian bride advertisements along the side had her clicking the X as fast as possible. The video that he had apparently wanted her to watch wasn't worth the reprimand that she was surely facing now that 4 of her co-workers had seen the computer screen. Her cheeks had burned crimson for hours after that. She was going to kill Jared. A bell over the door brought her back to the present. It jingled cheerily in the cool, dim space, and she smiled politely as a listless, middle-aged woman made her way up to the counter to browse. She had a nervous tic, her head and shoulder shrugging up every couple of minutes, and Kate looked away so that the woman didn't get embarrassed by it. It was middle afternoon, and judging by the violent brightness of the sun outside and the heat waves coming from the vehicles in the parking lot, it hadn't gotten any cooler out there. She sighed and wished for fall. She wanted cooler weather, pretty leaves, campfires, cozy rain and books, someone to snuggle up with after carving pumpkins, someone to cook a Thanksgiving meal for. She shook her head, then looked around to make sure nobody had caught the unguarded movement. The fact was, she was lonely. She was 25, single, overworked, underpaid, and lived with her mother to save money. On her meager wage, she couldn't even afford an apartment. Until she started to gain traction among their clients and earn more, she would be staying in her childhood bedroom. It wasn't exactly a romantic little love nest or a place to spend time with a date. Her mom would hover uncomfortably and ask potentially embarrassing and awkward questions. She knew she had the favored child status, though she and Jared had never discussed it. He didn't know how lucky he was that Mom was hands-off in his life. She loved him, of course she did, but she didn't hover and dote and direct his life like she did Kate's. It had gotten a lot worse since their dad died of a heart attack. Jared blamed himself for it, though Kate knew it wasn't his fault. Their father had been a workaholic and a Type A personality, something that she herself had probably inherited. He never took vacations or just relaxed. When he wasn't at the office on base, he was fixing up something on the house or the car or doing some project or other. He never stopped, and Kate knew that was what had caused the heart attack. Her mother knew it as well, though Kate thought that maybe, deep down inside, she might have wanted to blame Jared as well, because it was less painful than blaming herself. So their family was all kinds of screwed up now, and Jared was being extra weird lately. It wasn't helpful to her at all, and she was afraid that she was going to have to sit down and have a talk with him about his obsessions. Or maybe she would just slip some lithium into his food. That might be easier. She snorted at that and turned to a new page to design the master closet. She could use the design software on her laptop, but she found sketching to be far more relaxing and enjoyable. It allowed her freedom to improvise, and she often came up with much more creative ideas than her fellow new hires. Hopefully, it would pay off soon with a promotion. She got a text, and she knew immediately by the